Hi there, this is Linda from Go for the Joy, and I'm on the phone with Shefali from Ottawa in Ontario, Canada. And Shefali is not concerned, is looking just for some guidance and enlightenment around her career. Shefali works with Access Consciousness and facilitates the bars. And do you facilitate foundation and level 1 too?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Heading in that direction, perhaps.
Yes.
Okay. And I met Shefali in Toronto at the Foundation Level 1 and 2 with Gary Douglas, which was a wonderful time.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to get into this reading. It's always so fun to do readings with different people from different points in their lives and different perspectives. Okay. So the first card I've got here is commitment. And with this card, I'm hearing that there's a hesitation to commit in any one direction. And part of this is, my understanding is part of this is that you are can seem a little flighty to people. And so and that's kind of been the way you are. And so that you really have been struggling to try and be one way, to kind of commit to one way of being in order to appear more normal, I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And so this card is to not do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yes, your greatest gift is your ability to have so many things on the go at the same time, to be able to see so many different things in so many different ways. So this card, thank you, is about your commitment to you, to be who you are without apology. And to understand that is your greatest strength, that ability to want to dip your toes in all sorts of different water, right?
Yep.
Because all of those gifts that you receive from doing that, all of the experiences you receive from doing that, are part of the whole of who you are and will always reflect in whatever work you do. And so you'll be someone that will never just immerse themselves in one thing and that will be enough because something else comes along and you go, ooh, look at that, look at that. But it doesn't mean you never totally left everything behind. Some things you've let drop because it just hasn't evolved to the place that you are.
Mm-hmm.
But some of it has and will continue to. So don't be afraid to test different waters. Don't feel that you have to commit to something to satisfy this perceived way of being stable to fit in with anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That makes sense to you?
It absolutely does.
Good.
Absolutely.
Good. And you already knew that, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always nice to get that validation, though.
Yeah. Well, and my belief when I do readings is everyone's their own best expert.
Yeah.
And all I'm doing is helping people to see what they already know for themselves or helping them to come to that knowing. Right?
Yep, absolutely.
I'm not invested in it being one way or another, and I have no judgment around it, any of it.
Mm-hmm.
So the next card is desire. And it's a beautiful flower with pink on it and rose. So the desire is about you with this huge yearning for something more.
Mm-hmm.
So you haven't quite found this something more for you.
Right.
Okay. And so this yearning really is about the connection with you.
Yeah.
And your connection with Source. So it's not, though you have been looking outside, recent work has made you look within.
Mm-hmm.
And again, these cards always tie in beautifully because to me this card is about you being authentically who you are without judgment around that. You're very good at being without judgment when you're with other people, but you don't gift yourself with that same gift.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So stop judging who you are and the yearnings and desires you have within you, For one, a lot of these desires are also just letting you know you're ready to have your world expanded more.
Fantastic.
Right?
Yeah.
But that yearning for something that's not nameable, that is more about the connection you have with you.
Yeah.
So that will lessen the more that you just look at yourself and go, oh, well, isn't that interesting? I can love that piece too. Right? I can love who I am in the moment, knowing that that will change and can change. But at the moment, this is who I am, and I can choose to accept and love myself that way. Okay?
Sounds good.
Great. So the next card is merger. And this is about merging all the talents that you have into something to offer the world, something that has more flow to it and less definition. So it's not so definitive. It's about the wonderful intuition that you have.
Yeah.
It's allowing you to use that to feel your way into the flow and allowing different things to merge together. So for instance, if you have a practice, if you were a Reiki teacher, right?
Yep.
And you also have access consciousness or perhaps craniosacral, it's not having to have all of those pieces divorced from each other.
Okay, yeah.
It's allowing everything to merge and to be, as Access says, the energy, space, and consciousness in the moment for what is required. So that's bringing everything that you are into that moment.
Wow, I love that. I was just thinking about that this morning.
Were you? Are we surprised? No, we're not surprised, are we?
We're not surprised. Yeah, that's just uncanny. I was just thinking about that this morning.
Yeah. So allowing all of those things to come together and merge into something that's in the moment, that's very specific for that moment.
Yeah.
And sometimes it will be that you will only stay in the one modality with a client or with whoever you are. But there are other times they're willing to receive way more. And you're sensing that, but thinking, well, they came here for this. Can I really put that in? And this is, yes, you can.
Right, okay.
Please do. That's what I'm hearing, this huge, like, please do, because that's your talent, that ability to discern what's needed, what that client is asking for, right? And if you're holding yourself back because you think, well, they came here for this, and so this is what I'm going to give them.
Yeah.
Okay. The true, the people that are the most effective in facilitating, and I'm putting in quotation marks, healings, or coming together, making people more whole, they pull everything that they have, and they're willing to go with their intuition, and they're often willing to be something that they've never been before.
Right, yeah.
Right? Not afraid of what anyone's going to think about that. Okay?
Makes sense.
So that's could be a wonderful goal for you if you choose to take that.
No, I like it.
Yeah.
I definitely like that, yeah.
Is there any stumbling block around that for you, though?
I don't think so. I think it's just a matter of knowing that, yes, I can do that. Yes, I can incorporate more than one different modality, and use it for the highest good of the client,
Yeah, it's for you, it's the confirmation, something you've already been like.
Oh my goodness, did you hear that?
Good. Very nice.
That sounds like confirmation too. That's under right there.
I love this. This is why I love doing this. The next card is attention. And this is about knowing where to put your attention each day.
Right.
You have a life that could be very much in flux, and where it's difficult for you to put your attention on one thing for days and days and days at a time. That's not satisfying for you.
Yeah.
So it's again that dipping into the pool. So discerning for you how much attention you need to place on something and for how long. and not to judge yourself for backing off from it or for setting it aside till the time is right again, because there's no right or wrong in this. It's just what works for you, what serves you. So the more you pay attention to how you're feeling about stuff rather than slogging through, sometimes it's necessary to take a step back, maybe even take a nap, do something that's going to make you feel lighter, right? And then to be in this space, in that space of lightness, to know, okay, is this the thing I should be doing now? Or should I set it aside for an hour or a day or 2 days? Right? And then come back to it. Also, this comes into the commitment bit again. Because when you, as you're going, oh, look at that, and oh, let me read this, let me try this. There's almost, okay, I've committed to this, and I need to pay attention to this, right? But just because you've committed to it in the moment doesn't mean you have to be committed to it forever. Right? You be committed to it as long as it serves you. And then either it falls away or you find a way to have pieces of it, be something that you can work into what you're doing, where you're going, who you are.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else around this attention? Okay, so the other thing around this attention card is to pay attention. To pay attention to the intuitive hits you get the absolute intuitive abilities that you have that you have been unwilling to own totally. Okay, so this.
I'm getting chilled as you say that because it's so true.
So this is kind of coming back to this commitment, afraid to. This is one area where, commit to being who you are. Commit to being the intuitive being that you are. Right? Everyone's intuitive. And some people are just more in tune with it, more practiced at it, more able to pick up things than other people. I think your abilities are far larger, and that with a bit of practice, you will get more confident in them. And so again, that's following the energy when you're facilitating a session, right? Trusting your intuitive abilities. Trusting that whatever words want to come out of your mouth that you bite back are perhaps the very words that they need to hear. Right? And there's always a way to deliver that in a gentle way if you're feeling like it's too harsh. Also to know that the energies you pick up are just in a moment. Right? So again, discerning where that's coming from. And because I've been doing this for a long, long, long time, I'm very discerning when I'm doing readings where the information's coming from. But when I'm just out in the regular world, right, I have to stop and ask myself, where'd this come from? Because, and actually, when it doesn't sit well with you, you pretty well know it's not yours, right? So then the question is this piece of information that needs to be given, right? Sometimes it's just information that you picked up. Other times it's information that, so for instance, I was down and I rarely do, I just don't do this when I'm out in the real world. I just don't normally do this when I'm out. But I was in a gallery down in coastal Washington somewhere. And I'm walking around this gallery and it's pretty quiet. And I hear, and so this is really weird for me because that's when I pay attention. You have to tell this, you have to give this man a message. And I'm like, really? Come on. No, you do. I'm like, oh, okay, now I'm in free will still, right? I could do it or not do it. But I kept hearing it. So I thought, okay. So I went over to him and I said, excuse me, are you the owner of this gallery? And he said, yes. And I said, I have a message for you. I just said, I'm intuitive and I have this message and can I give it to you? So he said, yes. So I gave it to him, and he kept saying, well, no, that's for my manager. And I said, oh, no, it's for you. And then I just left it, because it's not, at that point, it's not up to me anymore.
Right.
I've just been the messenger. But I also asked, this is what I do. Would you like this information? So people have an opportunity to say, no, I'm not interested in that information. Then I would have walked out and gone, okay, fine. No biggie.
Mm-hmm.
So the more that you know, practice, pay attention to when the information comes, where it's coming from, kind of ask that question, right? And take note of these intuitive hits that you know afterwards you go, there have been somewhere you went, I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
I just knew that. But then you forget that you knew it.
Yeah.
And then you're second guessing yourself again. Okay?
That's true. And I was recently told 2 days ago by somebody how strong my intuitive gifts are, and that I could be even clearer, better at it if I just practice and learn a few more skills. It's like, yeah, I know.
Well, the practicing, for one, it's meditation is a great way just to kind of calm yourself, to put yourself in a space of just being. The other thing is to find groups of people doing the same thing with a teacher that's good.
Yep.
Because it really is kind of like a muscle, because when you're sitting with a group, which is what I did at the very beginning, then you're getting, you're supported by the group energy. You're getting feedback, and so you get more confident in what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yep.
Initially, it's like I was just, what?
Yeah, no, I think I will be having something starting up really soon. So.
Yeah, good. And then also still knowing that you will always know when what you're saying is correct.
Yeah.
One of the other